The Whisperer's Journey Across the Isles. Part 3. The Chains of Coral and Fire. Ami was 15 when the Guardians called her again. This time, their voices were not calm, they were urgent. The cracking chain. Luzan Emihan stood at the foot of a perfect cone-shaped volcano in Albe, Mayon Volcana. The ground trembled beneath her sandals. The first chain weakens. Luzan's powerful voice echoed inside her, far below the ocean floor. A glowing link of stone flickered like a dying ember. What must he do? Emihan whispered. Clem. The path was steep and rocky. Ash dusted her hands. The air smelled of earth and smoke. Fia tried to slow her steps, but she remembered the village, the fishermen, the children playing by the sea. At the summit, the crater glowed faintly red. Emihan closed her eyes. I am not fire, she said softly, but I carry your voice. She placed her palm on warm stone. The mountain answered. Light burst outward, not an eruption, but a pulse. Deep beneath the ocean, the first chain blazed bright again. The serpent roared in frustration, but it did not rise. The shattered reef. Visayas. From Luzon, Emihan sailed south in a wooden balangay boat. Storm clouds chased her, but the sea guided her safely. She reached Baho, where the rolling hills stood like silent watchers. The Chocolate Hills. But the problem was not on land. It was beneath the waves. The coral weakens, Visayas sang sadly. The second chain fades, Emihan dove into clear blue water. Below her, a reef once bursting with color, now looked pale and broken. She felt helpless. I can't fix the ocean alone, she said. You are not alone, Visayas reminded her. Emihan returned ashore and spoke with local fishers and divers. Together, they began restoring coral, carefully planting new fragments, protecting the waters, teaching others. Days turned into weeks. Then one night, as moonlight touched the sea, the reef shimmered with renewed life. Deep beneath, the second chain glowed blue and strong. The serpent thrashed, but its coils remained bound. The whispering roots. Mindanao. Her final journey led her to the southern forests of Mindanao. The air was thick with mist and the scent of rain. The final chain rests within the roots, Mindanao's deep voice murmured. But something was wrong. Parts of the forest had been cleared. Rivers ran muddier than before. Omahan felt sorrow. I don't have fire here, she said. Or Cora? You have heart, Mindanao replied. She spoke with communities, elders, and young students. Together they planted trees along riverbanks. They protected watersheds. They listened to the land instead of taking from it. Months later, green returned where Bron had scarred the earth. Roots grew deep, and far below the seafloor, the third chain shone. Emerald bright, the rising shadow. But the sea serpent was intentant, clever. With all three chains restored, it made one final attempt. The ocean darkened across the horizon. A massive shadow rose halfway to the surface. Waves towered. Winds screamed. Emihan stood at the shore once more. I've done everything, she cried. Not everything, the Guardians answered together. Luzan's fire warmed her back. Visayas' tide steadied her heartbeat. Mindanao's forests strengthened her breath. Now stand with us. Emihan lifted her arms. Across the islands, people who said. Fishermen held their nets. Farmers looked to the sky. Children stood by windows. Though they didn't hear the Guardians' voices clearly, they felt something powerful, called to unity. And in that moment, something greater than mountains and oceans awakened. Hope. The shadow beneath the sea faltered. The serpent's roar weakened. Light from volcano, reef, and forest merged beneath the ocean floor, forming a radiant seal stronger than ever before. With a final echoing hiss, the sea serpent sank fully into the abyss. This time, it did not stir. The guardian among humans. When calm returned, Emihan felt different. The voices were still there but softer now. "You are part of us," Luzon said proudly. "You are bridge and tide," sang Visa. "You are root and future," whispered Mindanao. Amihan smiled at the horizon. "I'm just a girl from the shore. And that is enough." The legend lives on. Years later, stories spread across the Philippine archipelago. They spoke of a girl who climbed fire, healed coral, and planted forests. But the truth was simpler and more powerful. The Guardians were never meant to fight alone. They were waiting for the people of the islands to rise with them. And somewhere along the coast, if you listen closely, when the wind shifts, you might still hear them. Not roaring, not trembling, but whispering.